Good morning, or maybe it's afternoon for you, or even evening, but in any case, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'm glad you joined this video to learn how you can host Apache Kafka producer in EC2 and send data to your Apache Kafka cluster, assuming that your cluster is located also somewhere in the cloud and you're connecting it to it using SSL. And we are going to use NodeJS project as a part of our client. So we are here at EC2, so let's press this button to launch an instance so that we create a new instance. I will call it just producer. And you have different options here, but I will go with Ubuntu as the easiest one, and I will mainly keep all the defaults. The T3 micro is good one, the image is good one, so it's all, for example, the micro one will go with free tier if you are still using free tier, so it's good. For the key pair, we do need key pair because we are going to use SSH to connect into the instance. So I'm going to create a new key pair, and I'm going also to call it producer keys. And I will create it, will put it into the download folder. We will later move it from there. So then for the network settings, these default settings are enough for us. So we are going to connect through SSH, and we do not need any kind of web interface. So those HTTP and HTTPS, they are handy for full stack, but we are not going to use them. So we'll just go with the default SSH, and then let's see if something doesn't work, we will modify this later. Then the configuration for the storage, we can keep it as it is, and that's it. So let's keep all the default values where they were, and press to launch the instance. So, and we have our instance, and now we can connect to it. There is this card connect to instance, and here you have plenty of really useful information. We are interested in SSH client, so let's go here, and it gives us instructions on how to proceed. So the important part is that you have your keys. I usually put the keys separately in, you can either keep them in your SSH folder, for example, or somewhere else. Let me just go off screen for a second so that I copy them from the download folder where they were initially. So I added them to a folder which I created, which is called AWS. So here I have producer keys. This is what AWS generated for us and gave us, and this is what we will need so that we can connect to the instance. So the first thing you would like to do is to run this chmod, however you pronounce it, on the keys, and after that we can SSH into the that computer, that Ubuntu computer. So and I'm going to press this. It will ask me if I'm sure. I'm saying yes, of course I'm very sure, and we are inside of the Ubuntu machine. So now if we will like run, so it's just, if you go a bit upper, it has all the stuff here, but we need just to go to home Ubuntu, and here it's still empty, but we are going to have our producer in this folder. And as I mentioned, I'm going to use the GitHub repository. Technically, you can copy your code differently. You can use different utils like rsync to have the copy on your local machine and over here. But I already have this GitHub repository, so what I would need to do is to clone it. Then I would need to adjust my .env file so that I put here all the information about the Kafka cluster, as well as the source of the data, install the packages, and certificates, and it will be good enough. So for this, we will need to clone, but before we need to clone stuff, we also need to install Node.js. So I'm going to copy a comment which I will put in the description of this video so you can use it as well. Great, so npm and node are there. We will need also to install git so that we can clone stuff, and now we have git as well. So now let's clone this project. So I will go to the code because we don't really care about SSH to GitHub at this stage. So I'm going to use HTTPS. Ooh, HTTPS, let's see. And I will just do here git clone and go there. And we are have the produce data folder, so I can see it. So there, and now our goal is to prepare the connection strings to connect to our Kafka cluster. There are a couple of things we need to change. First of all, we need the .env file. And if you're not familiar with .env, once we have the information about the connection properties, we are going to pull that as a configuration, and we can connect to it. For example, here in the code, and let me just move this a bit. Ooh, that's a nice bug, I guess. So anyway, here, I didn't want to do that. When we use KafkaJS, and we are going to rely on KafkaJS for this producer as a client, though you can use different Kafka JavaScript clients. So we provide the brokers, and here I'm relying on the environment variable. I didn't want to press that key. Let me come back. So on the environment variable of the Kafka URI, and the same for the SSL information. So all of those here are not hard-coded, they are taken from the environment file. And we could do it differently, honestly. Technically, we can actually also use the environment variable of AWS. But yeah, so I'm keeping them in the .env file, and the configuration for the certificates for the Kafka will go into separate folder. But for this, we need to create a .env file, which is kind of a copy of .env example. So, however it is more convenient for you, I'm going just to get rid of this ugliness first. And then let me do like this. So we need to navigate to our folder, and I'm going to add a .env file, and my V skills are pretty low, but this should work. So here we are going to put the content, and I do have already the .env file as it is needed according to this instruction in my local project where I was experimenting first. So I'm going just to copy the stuff. So it's over here, and I know it's a bit small, but we are not going to stay here for long. So let me just go to this part, and I'm going to copy everything. Copy, and I'm going to pass this over here. So we do have over here the URI. So this is the location of my Kafka cluster, and I'm using Ivan for that. Then we have SSL certificates, and we have the SSL private key. They should be well formatted, otherwise, there will be so much complaints. But our minds are good, and then we have a Mastodon token. So I'm using Mastodon as a source of data, so that we are going to read the data and push into Apache Kafka cluster. So with this, I'm pressing escape, and then 2 dots, and write and quit. And now we have our environment file there, so we can even check. Wait, let's a. Yeah, so we have .env file. But that's not it, because of course we need the certificates folder. And technically you can of course copy paste your certificates as I did with .env, but you also might have more information that you need to bring. So there is another command which is quite handy for copying stuff. So I'm going to use that one, and for this I will need a new tab in my terminal. Okay, so we are still in the AWS folder where I do have the keys. So certificates themselves I can download, and whatever provider of Apache Kafka you have, or if you're generating them on your own, I'm going to get them from Ivan. So I'm going to download all of them, and again I will go off screen to copy them into AWS folder. So now I can show you 3 files for what we need. We're going to use the command which looks like this. It's quite similar to our connection information. So we're going to use the producer key to access the stuff, but we are going to copy everything which is located in the certificates folder into our Ubuntu machine, and the path will be produce data certificates. Oh, I forgot to create the certificates folder. Wait, let me check. I think this will fail because we don't have the certificates folder yet. So let's see. Oh no, actually didn't. So if I will go here and I will look at this, oh yeah, we have certificates right now. So all works, and this is the information which we need to connect to Apache Kafka. So let's look at the file which I'm going to use to send the data which we are going to run. So it's located in SRC. Precedent with KafkaJS. What we have here, of course, like the connection properties, but then in the end we are going to run the producer. So we're going to connect, and then we're going to send the data. What I want to do, to be honest, I want to change this topic because I have hundreds thousands in Mastodon posts already for my other project. So I'm going to use topic test, which I created so that it's empty. Let me show that topic to you. So this is my Ivan client, and I'm going to topics, and I have a test topic, and in the test topic I can see topic info, and right now you can see that the first offset is 0, last offset is 0, so it's empty, and our goal is start bringing here data. And yeah, so let's do it. So I will escape and then write and quit, and that will be good enough. And now we can actually try to run this stuff. I forgot what kind of commands I have, so I go to package.json here just to remind myself. So we can use just load Mastodon. So npm run, and we'll see what will not work and we will fix it. Npm run load Mastodon. Ooh, crossing the fingers. Okay, rimraf not found. Ooh, okay, I forgot the most important stuff. I mean, not the most important, but quite important. npm install. Of course, we need to install all the libraries because we have plenty here, plenty of dependencies, so that should fix it. Cool. Now trying again. Okay, so I have some errors. It says this server does not host. Wait. A node topic or partition. Did I make a typo? Most probably. So let me just see. Topic test. Or did I have test topic? Test topic. Oh, of course. Typos is my thing. So test topic. And now let's try again. Great, so we are getting the data and we are sending the data. And now over the time we should start seeing the increased last offset as the data is written to Apache Kafka topics. So we have right now 182 and it will be increasing. So the data is going there. We can also check the messages, just what we see. Let me just move this back. And I can fetch the messages. I can press here and then I can decode from base 64 and we can see that I'm getting some messages from Mastodon and there are plenty of those, so we have even offsets 336, so it's quite a lot of messages. Anyway, I hope this was useful and you now know how to host your own producer in EC2 instance and how to send data from there to your Apache Kafka cluster.